Hello, and welcome to the 2020 Annual Meeting of the Columbus Historical Society. My name is Mike Frush. I have the pleasure of serving as president of your Board of Trustees. The board felt that it was still not safe for us to meet together in one location. Therefore, we decided to bring the annual meeting to you. Columbus and our nation are currently going through some historic times of needed change. Columbus Historical Society is here to preserve the history of those changes and the other important stories of our community. I will update you on several things that I've been involved in during this past year. Then I've asked our associate director and various board members to update you on the things they've been involved in on your behalf. The first thing that I would like to relate to you is, as you probably read in the local media, newspapers, saw it on TV, the Columbus Recreation and Parks Department and the Columbus City Council approved the transfer of the historic Harrison House and Solvent Land Office property at 570 West Broad Street to the Columbus Historical Society. We are obviously very thrilled about that. One of the conditions of that transfer is that we complete the restoration of both buildings. In order to accomplish this, we have established a partnership with the Franklinton Historical Society. So I'm very excited about that. As you know, Franklinton does some tremendous programming for a local community. We will obviously be needing your help and that of the rest of the community to raise the proper funding for that restoration. Second thing I'd like to update you on is a permanent home for the Columbus Historical Society. As you know, we've been leasing space from Mount Carmel Health Systems at 717 West Town Street for $1 a year. But that lease expires May 31st of next year. So as you're probably aware of, we've been working with Heritage Ohio as a partner in trying to acquire Engine House number 6. That would be a permanent home for both organizations. We will update you in the near future on the status of that project. The third item that I've been involved in recently, and I'm really excited about, is we've been working with Columbus Sister Cities International. And we would like to create exhibits on the 10 different sister cities of Columbus. And the first one that we will be working on is Genoa, Italy. So we're excited to be working with the people of Genoa, Italy in that endeavor. Now I will turn you over to Aimee Briley, our Associate Director. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Aimee Briley. I'm the Associate Director for the Columbus Historical Society. This past year, CHS has had the pleasure of working with 3 federal work-study students from The Ohio State University. These students have helped with every aspect of our organization, including assisting with exhibits, memberships, research requests, social media, newsletters, and cataloging artifacts. Our organization has also worked with several interns from the 3 different universities around Central Ohio, and we enjoyed having the opportunity to once again work with an intern from the Transition Options in Post-Secondary Settings, or TOPS program, at The Ohio State University. These students were all amazing assets to our organization and assisted us in areas such as exhibits, social media, archival work, and fundraising. We also wish to thank all the volunteers who have helped us plan and staff our exhibits. All of these work-study students, interns, and volunteers deserve our gratitude for choosing to spend their talent, time, and energy with the Columbus Historical Society. And it has been a pleasure and an honor to work with each of them. CHS would like to thank the City of Columbus, the Essex Family Advice Fund of the Columbus Foundation, the Thomas C. and Marion Hayes Family Charitable Trust, the Lloyd D. Hunter Memorial Fund of Community Foundations Incorporated, and the Susan Scherer Charitable Foundation for their financial support during the past year.
Hi, I'm Bob Hunter. I'm first vice president of the Columbus Historical Society. Kind of a first order of business, we have 5 trustees whose term is expiring, and they've agreed to serve another term, including our president, Mike Frush. The other four are Russ Arledge, Brad Funk, Fran Ryan, and Jim Tootle. We like to thank all of them for all they've done for us in the past, and they will be all serving another term. We are also looking for board members. We still have some openings for board members, so if anyone out there is interested, we would be happy to take an application from you and look over your application. We can always use help with the Historical Society.
Hello again. This is Mike Frush. Our treasurer, Christine, was not available for this meeting. So therefore, I will be giving you a short treasurer's report for 2019. For the calendar year 2019, our total revenues, including in-kind rent, was $96,141. Our total expenses for the year was $98,894, leaving just a small deficit, $2,753. We do have a positive balance in our operating checking account of just under $12,000. We have not had an actual financial statement audit for several years. The board has approved hiring the CPA firm of Donald Wells CPA to do an annual audit on 2019. That's our brief treasurer's report for this year. Thank you.
Hi, this year we've had two work study students work directly with our archives and cataloging artifacts. They were Burden and Thomas, and happily both of them have graduated from the Ohio State University, so we wish them all the best. They've really been able to process all the incoming donations over the school year and really kept us up to date with our collections. And we've also this year, due to the pandemic, we've been collecting stories about people's COVID-19 experiences, and we're still doing that. And if you would like to be part of that project, all you have to do is go to our website and you can tell your story. Thank you very much. I would like to take this time to thank the Huntington National Bank. In July 2018, Huntington was kind enough to donate computers, monitors, software, a new server, iPads, and their time and installation expertise. We are very grateful for this generous donation of refurbished equipment that allows us to not only perform daily office operations, but allows us to more securely record and preserve the history of the city.
Good evening. My name is Jack Benjamin, and I'm the Secretary of the Board of Trustees for the Columbus Historical Society, as well as the Chair for our Exhibits Committee. 2019 was an exciting year for our exhibits, as we said goodbye to our highly successful World War I exhibit entitled, "We Shall Remember Them, How Columbus Remembered the Great War," and opened the very unique and extraordinary Evolution of Columbus Art exhibit and gallery. We were so thrilled to be able to call upon the expertise of two renowned local artists, Dave Terry and Fred Falkman, as our guest curators to select, compile, and display the artwork. The exhibition offered an exclusive opportunity to view over 90 pieces from over 70 late artists, all of which were on loan from private collectors and select galleries, featuring a diversity of genres which well represented Columbus's rich contributions to the arts community. The entire exhibit catalog has been archived and is available to virtually tour on our website. When the pandemic hit, we were just about to open our exhibit entitled "Welcome to the Roaring Twenties, Travel Back 100 Years to Columbus in the 1920s. We are on track now to have a soft opening on July 3rd. This exhibit will focus on our neighborhoods, ethnicities, women's rights, sports, architecture, transportation, culture, fashion, and the media. Plus, we will, and of course, explore the impact of Prohibition on our city's historic brewery industry and the population. Please come join us and explore life in Columbus in the 1920s. We are so fortunate to have had the enthusiastic support of numerous local organizations, sponsors, and individuals who have come together to assist us in creating this awesome exhibit. I was impressed by the dedicated, passionate assistance we have received, and I encourage everyone to support these local organizations and businesses whose names can be found on our website's introduction to the exhibit. Many of our own Columbus Historical Society board members have donated artifacts, their sweat equity, knowledge, and writing skills to tell some fascinating stories of Columbus from that time period. We are so grateful for the support. Please visit our website, columbushistory.org, and our Facebook page for a complete explanation of our reopening safety protocols, to make reservations, and to plan your visit. The exhibit is free and open to the public, but we do want to schedule visits to ensure that we are following proper safety and health guidelines and to make it an enjoyable experience for all. Watch our website also and social media sites for news of upcoming exhibits, which are currently in development that will celebrate our city's rich heritage, including our upcoming exhibit this fall on the Columbus music scene in the 70s. This exhibit will feature Columbus bands and venues, as well as the popular music we were all listening to on the radio, listening on our reel-to-reel tape players, cassette players, and yes, even our 8-track players. Our 70s committee has been having so much fun for the past year planning this exhibit, reliving the music and the groups, that we're confident that our visitors will really enjoy this musical trip down memory lane. The music of the 70s will be the precursor to our future full-blown Explosion of the 70s in Columbus exhibit, where we will examine the events, the culture, the movements, the fads, and the social issues of the 1970s, a decade of immense dynamic change. Thank you again for supporting our Columbus Historical Society, and I look forward to seeing you at our exhibits. All the best.
Hi, everybody. My name is Abbie Wilson, and I chair the membership committee here for the Columbus Historical Society. We've had some exciting news here in the membership committee. We've completely been able to redo our membership levels. If you are a current member, you should be getting a letter in the mail very shortly. And if you haven't received that, please email me or Aimee and we can connect you to the information. But the membership levels include a very exciting new membership benefit at the deluxe and dual deluxe levels. Now those levels are new. So that is membership at the $80 or $100 level. And if you are a member at those levels, you actually get reciprocal admission to over 394 fellow museums across North America through the Reciprocal Organization of American Museums. So this is called ROAM. So if you become a member at these levels, you get ROAM admission to these 394 museums across the country. And again, if you have more information on that, on upgrading your membership status, renewing your membership status, anything like that, please feel free to email me or Aimee. And we're looking forward to using this new benefit to be able to grow our membership and welcome more people to the Columbus Historical Society. So thank you very much.
I'm Jim Tootle, chair of the Columbus Historical Society Publications Committee. First, we've had a successful year publishing our monthly Columbus Historical Society electronic newsletter for members and friends. I would like to recognize the fine work of CHS Associate Director Aimee Briley for editing and producing this attractive and content-rich publication. Regular features include, first, a postcard from Columbus column by local historian and CHS board member Dick Barrett. And two, the From Our Friends at the Metropolitan Library column with an article on Columbus history accompanied by a photo from the library's collection. Three, contributions from others, including our student interns, who are usually history majors at local universities. We're pleased to provide these students with the valuable experience of researching and writing an article for publication. And four, news of upcoming Columbus Historical Society events, programs, and projects. Plans are to continue publishing the CHS newsletter during the last week of each month. Second, discussion and planning efforts continue on two projects for the future. First, a journal of Columbus history, which would include 4 to 5 long-form articles. And two, the publication of local history materials in monograph or booklet form, which would include diaries or collections of letters. Due to the current pandemic situation, planning for these two new projects has been interrupted for the past several months. We look forward to resuming work on both as public health considerations become more clear. In the meantime, we hope all members and friends will continue to enjoy our newsletter to stay connected with Columbus Historical Society during this time of limited personal contact. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Luchin, CHS's second vice president and chair of the development committee, and I'd like to take a few minutes to tell you about our fundraising and development efforts over the past year. In addition to the individuals and organizations that Aimee mentioned earlier, I would like to say thank you to all of you who have supported us over the past year with our fundraising efforts. We had our spring appeal earlier last year, Giving Tuesday in the fall, and also the Big Give, which we just finished up last week. None of those efforts would have been as much of a success as they were without your help and your support. I'd also like to mention a couple grants that CHS has received over the past year. We recently found out that we were approved for an Ohio Humanities Ohio Cares grant. That grant will help us with operating costs in the coming months, and we truly appreciate the Ohio Humanities for approving us for this grant. Secondly, I would like to mention the City of Columbus. Earlier this year, we received a grant from the City of Columbus, which will help us put an exhibit together in the fall and also help better position us for our two big projects that Mike mentioned earlier, the Harrison House in Franklinton and the Engine House 6 project. These projects are a large undertaking, and we're going to need your help to finish them. In the coming months, we will be giving you more details as we flesh those plans out. So it's a bright future for CHS, but we won't be able to do it without you. So thank you for your continued support, and thank you for your support in the future.
Bob Hunter again. I am past chair and current member of the events committee. Because our committee chair left the board several months ago, and we are still without a chairman, I'm going to give the events committee annual report. Since our last meeting, we haven't had as many programs as we have had in the past recently, in part because the room in our building that we often use for programming has been in use for exhibits. Even so, the events that we have had have been very popular. Last July, we partnered with the Columbus Landmarks and the Ohio Air and Space Museum in hosting the 90th anniversary of the Port Columbus celebration, which included the Hangar 1 reception and a viewing of the original Port Columbus terminal on East Fifth Avenue. Almost 200 people attended the reception. Then in August, we had the opening reception for the Evolution of Columbus art exhibit in our building at 717 West Town Street. The exhibit featured over 50 original works of art from Columbus artists, including George Bellows Jr., Amina Robinson, Emerson Burkhart, Alice Shilley, and James Thurber. All of the art was on loan from private collections. Hundreds visited the popular exhibit, which closed in November. The event was curated by David Terry and Fred Folkman. With the art still occupying our event space, WOSU General Manager Tom Ryland, author of a book entitled Sparks Flew, WOSU's Century on the Air, gave a talk on the history of the station for us at Fawcett Center Studios of WOSU. Station personnel gave our members a tour of the station before Ryland spoke. Also in November, during the week preceding the Ohio State-Michigan football game, I gave a talk called "The Win That Started the Rivalry" on OSU's first win over Michigan, which occurred 100 years before in 1919. That talk was in our event space at CHS. In December, we also sponsored a talk entitled "Emerson Burkhart 50 Years Later" at the Griffin Gallery at Creekside in Gahanna. The talk was given by Burkhart expert Jeff Hetrick. The Roaring Twenties exhibit has been set up in our event space, so we haven't had any programs in there recently. We had planned a tour of an historic mansion in Worthington in March that had to be canceled because of the coronavirus, as did the opening reception for the Roaring Twenties exhibit, which had been put together by the events committee. The exhibit is expected to run through September. In the event that the healthcare emergencies continues, we hope to put together some virtual programs online, but hopefully we'll be able to resume our regularly programming schedule soon. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Fran Ryan, and I've been a member of the Columbus Historical Society for the past 2 years. It's been a wonderful experience working with such a great organization and with the people on board, on the board. And during this time, we have done so much to begin to plant seeds for the future. We are preserving the past, but we also are looking toward the future. So my role, I guess, in this wonderful organization is to kind of do a lot of outreach, to reach out to the community in areas that maybe they just really didn't know about us, and maybe they had concerns, but now they can join in, and we've got so many wonderful programs that we can look at and see. We bring back memories too. A lot of people that I've talked to in my age group are excited about looking at pictures of the past, and we've done so many wonderful projects. The World War I project, and all of the things that are coming up. As city clerk for several years at Columbus, I understand the necessity of protecting our past and our treasures. And I have learned over the years that those treasures need to be taken care of because they could be gone in a day. So that's kind of my role, to protect and look at the future and bring more people on board.
Hi, I'm Brad Funk, and I'm beginning my second term on the Columbus Historical Society Board of Trustees. I've lived in Central Ohio for my entire life, and specifically, I've lived in Columbus since 1998 when I enrolled at The Ohio State University. I'm a CPA, and I work for American Electric Power. I'm on the CHS board because I really think it's important to understand and communicate the historical contributions of Columbus and its diverse people. There have been so many influential figures with Columbus roots, and our city really has been a hub for many events that have had lasting impacts on the world. If we can use history to really understand how far we've come, I think it's a powerful platform to help us continue to drive progress as a society. Very pleased to meet you, and I really look forward to continuing to serve the community through Columbus Historical Society. Thank you.
My name is Bruce Warner. I joined the board about 6 months ago from a previous board. I suspect I was on there, I don't know, half a dozen years at least, and I left when my wife was very sick and was terminally ill, and I left. And I just rejoined. She passed in 15. And my interest in history, well, gee, I've always loved history. It was the only class I didn't have to study for in school, which was great. And I retired. I retired from the railroad in 19 96, May of 96. And in September 96, I saw this thing called the Franklinton Historical Society having meetings. I told my wife, let's go down and see what's this all about. And we went down and met a gal named Carol Stewart. And she asked me my name. I told her, and she said, what do you do? And I said, I'm retired. And that was into that. She reached out, grabbed a hold of me, and I've been involved in history ever since, doing something with the historical societies, Franklinton and Columbus, ever since, somehow or other. In the Franklinton Bicentennial, the Columbus Bicentennial, the State Bicentennial, all those things like that. And it's wonderful. I really love it. And I wish I could do more. I'm getting to the age now. I'm 81 now, so I'm getting a little older now. But I work at it. I really enjoy it, and I want to write. Hopefully I can write history before I kick the bucket. I've got a lot of material collected. Maybe I get that done one of these days.
Hello, my name is David Sewalk. I'm the Director of Technology Conversions at Huntington Bank. I've been on the Board of Trustees for the Columbus Historical Society, I believe, since 2015. I've been a history buff my entire life. I grew up about an hour northeast of Columbus in a small town, Coshocton, Ohio, but I've lived in Columbus for most of my life. I'm again, a huge history buff, mostly political, military history, music history. I collect Beatles memorabilia, World War II memorabilia, and I'm just fascinated by history and love the city of Columbus.
Hi, I'm Denise White, and I am a new member with the Columbus Historical Society, and I enjoy basically the 70s, which wrote me in because I love history, but I really love the 70s. So I'm excited and I'm ready to do the research, which I've already started, and I'm sure there's more for me to do.
My name is Russ Arledge. I'm the chair of the Archives Committee. I've been in the museum business over 35 years. Most of my time in the museum business, I was a objects conservator, and I've conserved many thousands of artifacts over the years. And I live in a house that's was built in 1867. I love history, especially local history, and that's why I wanted to be a board member of the Columbus Historical Society. And I'm looking forward to much more involvement with the society and working with the artifacts.
Well, there you have it. It's been a very busy year for the Columbus Historical Society. One of the pleasures that I have as president of your organization is to pick the annual President's Award winner. This year was very difficult because so many people contributed so much to local history and to the Columbus Historical Society. Finally narrowed it down to 3 people, and it was just too hard to pick one. So I ended up awarding 3 awards this year. First one goes to Fran Ryan, former Columbus City Councilwoman, former Franklin County Commissioner. Fran has done so much for the Columbus community in her entire years of service, and she continues to do so. She joined our board and just did all kinds of great things for the organization, which we sincerely appreciate. So Fran is one of the 3 that will be a President's Award winner this year. The second one is Jack Benjamin. Jack joined our board not that long ago, but quickly stepped in to chair the exhibits committee, is doing a great job with exhibits. He volunteered to fill our secretary position on the board, and has done all kinds of other projects for the Historical Society. He's put a lot of hours in this last year. Sincerely appreciate his work. The third award goes to John Luchin. John chairs our development committee. John has done countless things for the organization, in addition to development, helping to develop brochures, help for development purposes, attending numerous meetings really on behalf of the board in the different projects on the Engine House #6, on the Harrison House, etc. Sincerely appreciate his work as well during this last year. So those are your 3 President's Award winners this year. I wish to thank our staff, our board, our volunteers, the work study students, the interns from local universities that contribute so much to the Columbus Historical Society. And I wish to thank you, our members and supporters. We can't do this without you. Thank you and have a great year.